What is going on? Psych Perspectives, Geo Fucks here. We're about to talk about something that I've been saying this for the past 2 years now, since it all began in July of 2020. Tory Lame Azz is back in the news. And I've said this time and time again, abusers, predators, toxic people, these types of folks eventually will continue to show their true colors, and you will see the same patterns of behavior repeated time and time again, where this person is physically assaulting people, acting outlandish and erratic. I mean, he walks up on August Alsina, walks up on him, upset, you know how it is with little man syndrome, right? Like, some of these cisgendered men, when they're not tall, they have this personality that, they're gonna kick everybody's ass and don't test my gangster. I'm a man, hear me roar. The 5'4" giant that needs 8 big ass security guards to follow him, which allows him to do the bullying and the harassing, because without the 8 large security guards, without the guns and the weapons, this midget, well, let me not say that, because let me correct myself. That is wrong. That is stupid and ignorant, and it is also ableist and body shaming. He's a short-statured man. I was wrong. I shouldn't have called him a midget. I shouldn't have used that terminology. You can correct yourself in live time. You don't have to continue being ignorant. So, I correct myself. I take full accountability and ownership. That was ableist and disrespectful. Shouldn't have used that terminology. Now, back to Tory Lame Azz. Now, this man runs up on August Alsina. Again, very small, fragile ego. Thought that August Alsina was dissing him because he didn't want to do handshakes, despite the fact that, number one, nobody has to shake your hands. Number two, August Alsina, as many of us, are at risk, immunocompromised, okay? At risk, has pre-existing health conditions that put us at a heightened risk for catching and contracting COVID-19 and the various variants of COVID, not to mention monkeypox, not to mention flu and everything else and in between. You're more at risk when you're autoimmune compromised. You're immunocompromised, right? So of course he didn't want to shake hands, not to mention he's a grown man. He doesn't have to shake your hands, Tory Lame Azz. But in true narcissistic, toxic, dysfunctional, fragile male ego, little guy syndrome, little man syndrome, what do we have here? We have a grown man following another grown man, upset that the other grown man didn't want to shake his hand, felt that he was being disrespected and singled out, and decided to punch another man. And then he was able to get away with the punch because he had 8 bodyguards. He had his big ass bodyguards right there to defend and protect him. So he did a soccer, like one of those sucker punches where, the other person obviously isn't really paying attention, isn't really aware that this is about to happen, and then you just talking all your shit, and then you dip off after you done punched a person, busting August Alsina's lip. It's graphic. There's blood. It was unnecessary. There's bruising. It was unnecessary. But this is what's so crazy about the whole situation is people are they're respecting August Alsina and being like, my God, that was wrong. That was unnecessary. He physically assaulted you. Tory, bad. You shouldn't do things like that. But in the meantime, these are the same people that don't want to support and respect Megan Thee Stallion, who was literally shot in her feet by the same damn person 2 years ago, July 2020. Y'all set up here, oh, she's lying. She's making that up. Tory would never. Tory's not that type of guy. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover. And meanwhile, every time you turn around, there is something coming out about this Tory Lame Azz, where he is doing something that's erratic, violent, dysfunctional, toxic, and unnecessary. And every single time you turn around, there's always a pack of idiots who come out of the woodwork to support this type of toxic ass behavior from a grown ass man. And again, I hope August sues the shit out of him. I hope he presses charges. This is another aggravated assault. You know what I mean? And obviously premeditated, because once again, why else are you running up on people? Because they didn't shake my hand. So let me throw a narcissistic hissy fit. Not to mention the allegations that, Tory Lame Azz is a cokehead who likes to mix his marijuana, his cannabis, with cocaine, roll it up and smoke it. Which, hey, I love marijuana. I love cannabis. I like to drink alcohol and liquor from time to time. But mostly I'm a cannabis person. Cannabis is my thing. But hey, if that's what you like to do, Tory Lame Azz, you like to have your cocaine mixed with your cannabis, you like your 2 C's that way, then so be it. But it's kind of obvious that the cocaine may be getting to your damn brain, buddy, because you are acting like a village idiot at this point. And you are doing what typical narcissistic, toxic, dysfunctional people do. They end up imploding on themselves. You know what I mean? They always do. And it's a track record. It's the same thing with Chris Brown. It's a track record of the same toxic, dysfunctional, violent, aggressive behavior. And then you always have all of these enablers, aka flying monkeys, who sit back and co-sign the bullshit that they're doing, which is why they feel like they can continue to get away with it. And then, like I said, they're going to end up crashing and burning. They always implode on themselves. And again, they literally have a track record of toxic behavior. Like, come on. How many times does this person have to assault somebody before people start realizing, you know what? Megan Thee Stallion was telling the truth the entire time. This past 2+ years, she has been very adamant about what happened to her, what took place. And of course, all of you idiots who continue to enable this type of behavior, you're just as at fault as far as I'm concerned. Because you're literally aiding and abetting and this type of behavior flourishing in society. Now, information will be in the description box below, and I'm out of here.